Preparing for the ICSE Class 10 English Literature examination requires a thorough understanding of the prescribed short stories in the Treasure Chest collection. Here are some important questions and their answers for each of the listed stories. 1. With the Photographer by Stephen Leacock. Question. How does the narrator's experience with the photographer highlight the theme of individuality versus societal expectations? Answer. In With the Photographer, the narrator's encounter underscores the tension between personal identity and societal norms. The photographer insists on altering the narrator's natural appearance to fit conventional standards, reflecting how society often pressures individuals to conform, thereby suppressing personal uniqueness. Question. How does the photographer's attitude towards the narrator reflect societal perceptions of self-image? Answer. The photographer's insistence on altering the narrator's appearance, by suggesting changes to his features, mirrors societal pressures to conform to certain beauty standards. This interaction satirically highlights how external perceptions can influence personal self-image, often leading individuals to question their natural appearance. Question. How does the interaction between the narrator and the photographer create a sense of frustration and irony? Answer. The narrator expects a simple photo session but is instead subjected to the photographer's unsolicited opinions and alterations. The irony lies in the fact that the final photograph barely resembles the narrator, despite the photographer's supposed expertise. This frustration satirizes the tendency of professionals to impose their standards rather than respecting individual preferences. 2. The Elevator by William Sleator. Question. Discuss how William Sleator builds suspense in The Elevator. Answer. Sleator employs several techniques to create suspense. Setting. The confined and claustrophobic space of the elevator evokes anxiety. Characterization. Martin's intense fear and paranoia make readers empathize with his plight. Plot development. The recurring encounters with the mysterious woman escalate tension, culminating in an ambiguous ending that leaves readers unsettled. Question. Examine the role of the elevator as a symbol in the story. Answer. The elevator serves as a symbol of Martin's internal fears and anxieties. Its confined space represents his feelings of entrapment and vulnerability. Each unsettling encounter within the elevator amplifies his sense of dread, making it a microcosm of his larger insecurities and the challenges he faces in confronting them. Question. Analyze the psychological aspects of Martin's fear in The Elevator. Answer. Martin's fear is rooted in his feelings of vulnerability and insecurity. The confined space of the elevator amplifies his anxiety, and the presence of the intimidating woman exacerbates his sense of helplessness. Sleator delves into themes of claustrophobia and social anxiety, portraying how irrational fears can dominate one's psyche. 3. The Girl Who Can by Ata Aidoo. Question. Analyze the significance of the title, The Girl Who Can. Answer. The title emphasizes the protagonist's journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Despite societal and familial doubts about her abilities, she proves her worth, challenging traditional gender roles and expectations in her community. Question. How does the relationship between the protagonist and her grandmother evolve throughout the story? Answer. Initially, the grandmother expresses concern over the protagonist's thin legs, doubting their ability to fulfill traditional roles. However, as the protagonist excels in running, the grandmother's perspective shifts from skepticism to pride. This evolution signifies a broader acceptance of redefining traditional expectations and recognizing diverse talents. Question. Discuss the role of cultural expectations in shaping the protagonist's identity in The Girl Who Can. Answer. Cultural expectations play a significant role in the protagonist's life. As her grandmother's traditional views on physical attributes and societal roles influence her self-perception. Despite these pressures, the protagonist's success in running challenges and eventually transforms these preconceived notions, illustrating the dynamic interplay between cultural norms and personal identity. 4. The Pedestrian by Ray Bradbury. Question: what does Leonard Mead's character reveal about the society he lives in? Answer: Leonard Mead's solitary walks and appreciation for the natural world contrast sharply with a society engrossed in technology and isolation. His nonconformity highlights the loss of individuality and critical thinking in a dystopian world dominated by passive consumption. Question: what is the significance of the story's setting being devoid of human activity? Answer: the empty streets and absence of human activity underscore a society that has retreated into isolation, primarily due to technological overindulgence. This setting emphasizes the consequences of disengagement from communal life and nature, serving as a cautionary depiction of a future where human connections are diminished. Question: what commentary does Bradbury offer on technology and society through The Pedestrian? Answer: Bradbury critiques a society overly dependent on technology, depicting a future where human interaction and outdoor activities have diminished. Leonard Mead's solitary walks symbolize resistance to a conformist culture that prioritizes passive consumption over active engagement with the world. Warning of the dehumanizing effects of technological over-reliance. 5. The Last Lesson by Alphonse Daudet. Question: how does The Last Lesson portray the theme of linguistic and cultural identity? Answer: the story reflects on the impending loss of the French language in a region overtaken by Prussian forces. Through the characters' emotional responses, Daudet emphasizes the deep connection between language and cultural identity, and the regret that accompanies its erosion. Question: analyze the impact of the Prussian order on the characters in the story. Answer: the Prussian decree banning the teaching of French profoundly affects the characters, instilling a sense of loss and regret. M. Hamel, the teacher, becomes a symbol of national pride and laments the community's neglect of their language. Students and villagers, who previously took their linguistic heritage for granted, are awakened to its significance only when faced with its eradication. Question: how does The Last Lesson explore the theme of patriotism? Answer: the story delves into patriotism by highlighting the emotional response of the villagers to the prohibition of their native language. M. Hamel's passionate teaching and the community's regret for neglecting their linguistic heritage underscore a deep-seated love for their country and culture, emphasizing the intrinsic link between language and national identity.